Zayna Rooney. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Wow, you're on the two-person already, huh? What was the first? I'm sorry, I've been very busy for like the past 3 days, so I don't remember anything anymore. What was the first shot? God, I'm retarded. Okay, never mind. So this is the second person.
What is this? Abracadabra.
That's a technical term, is it?
Yeah, it's a scientific expression we use in cases like this.
No, very good, very good. Try it. Good gracious. Completely fixed, Brian.
Okay, the only things that I see right off the bat in blocking is just the cameras and stuff like that. Is I think you can alter them to make your point clearer and the joke a little funnier. I kind of don't like what's going on here because let's see, draw some stuff. I don't like the fact that we see this guy in profile only. I think that maybe you can. What is that first scene?
Watch this.
There's a way that you could showcase the two of them in a way. I mean, this is what you have over here is great. I like what's going on with this guy. This is a good angle, good pose, and everything like that. But I think if there's a way that you can showcase this guy and maybe have this guy behind the table or something like that, and then you could turn the camera. So maybe you've got this dude here, and he's like, kind of see both his eyes, and he's, he's not, just so we see him, this guy here, in more of a three-quarter view. And here's again where you might have to cheat the cameras a little bit to where maybe it might not make total sense inside the perspective view, but visually we want to see kind of this guy in this pose, and maybe he's looking over at this guy, and maybe that way we could also get in tighter, if possible. That way so we don't have all this stuff over here. Okay.
Watch this.
I love that pose right there. That's great. Gives you a good idea of what he's going to do.
Abracadabra.
Here.
That's a technical term, is it?
Yeah.
Come on, stop. Okay. Here. Again, this is an area where if we could get in tighter, because we don't need to see this stuff over here, but if we can get in tighter on him, might be something like this, Really make him the focus of the shot. Fill up that space with him.
Abracadabra.
That's a technical term, is it?
Yeah, it's a...
And then here, this is okay. I don't like this pose, though. I'm not sure what's happening with this pose. It's kind of like I think it looks off balance, and it looks... I'm not exactly sure what that pose is telling me. I don't think it's...
scientific expression we use in cases like this.
No, very good, very good.
Let's act that out, see what happens.
That's a technical term, is it?
So this guy, the guy on the right is great. He's like, so that's a technical term. He's just really, he doesn't have to be big and boisterous. He's just, right. He's just very thickly sarcastic. It's a technical term, is it? And then, so the other guy is saying...
That's a technical term, is it?
Yeah, it's a scientific expression we use in cases like that.
Yeah, it's a scientific term we use in cases like this, Yeah, it's a scientific term in cases we use like this. Just maybe have him, he's holding the thing up and he's just kind of explaining. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just a technical term we use in cases like this. He doesn't have to do a whole lot of gesturing. It's the mood is kind of low, so he doesn't need to go, yeah, it's just a technical term in cases like that, So it doesn't have to be too explosive, You could just be like, because the sarcasm of the scene is so low key that you don't have to be like, yeah, it's a technical term, is what, So it'd be, yeah, he can maybe just bounce the sarcasm right back. Yeah, it's a technical term we use in special cases like this. I don't know if you can see that at all. Let's see, try that again. Yeah, Yeah, it's a technical term we use in special cases like this. I don't know if that helps or not.
Very good. Very good.
And then, again, just the way this guy's rolling his eyes is great. Very good, very good, very good. I mean, the guy on the right is just dropping the sarcasm.
Very good. Very good. Try it.
And then this exchange here, I don't like how we're seeing the back of his head. There again, I think if he was behind the table, then we could get more of a 3/4 view of him, and he could be kind of like, we could see both his eyes, and then offering the mouse to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, get this guy over here so we could see him.
Good gracious. Completely fixed, Brian.
And that's good. Let's see. You can kind of go one of two ways, I think, with that. You could be like, I like what you did, actually, how he leaves his hand up. I'm like, good gracious, completely fixed by it. I think that's where you can stay in that pose, and then you could just gesture. You could just be like, well done, or you can do something like, good gracious. I like this better. I think I'd hold the hand up there, just like you're doing now, and then gesture. Just be like, wow, good gracious, completely fixed by it. Banana everywhere now.
Good gracious. Completely fixed, Brian.
Yeah, exactly how you're doing that. I think that's fine.
Completely fixed, Brian.
Good gracious, completely fixed. I think I would...
Completely fixed, Brian.
Animation mentor.
Good gracious, completely fixed, Brian. I would bring the eyes up a little earlier, I think. Good gracious, completely fixed, Brian. Because right now he's kind of like, good gracious, completely fixed, Brian. He's kind of like squint. He's kind of down, but he's squinting. Yeah, I don't know about that. He's kind of like, completely fixed, Brian. Maybe you might want to do like he's surprised, That might add to the sarcasm. Just drop it and just be like, good gracious, completely fixed, Brian. Wow, you've done it, Oh, got banana everywhere now. So yeah, but I think my main note is we want to see this guy on the left. So if there's a way you could swing him around the other side of the table or rig your camera up so that we can see him as well, or just turn him around so it's cheated. I think I've mentioned that before. Like if he was standing here, this is going to be not to scale. And if he was looking and his eyes were here, and he was looking back like this, this is not going to look right. If he was in the foreground, let's say, and basically he's kind of facing the camera, but he did something like this, it would imply that he's making eye contact with him, even though there's no physical possibility in perspective space that they would be making eye contact. It would look that way to the viewer. So at the very least you could try that, but like I said, what I would do is I would have him behind the table on that side, over here. Whatever. That way they can interact that way. And we can see this guy rather than seeing the back of his head and the goofy neck creases and stuff.
Watch this. Abracadabra.
That's a technical term, is it?
Yeah, it's a scientific expression we use in cases like
No,
this.
very good.
Yeah, I would turn this. See, because he just seems like miles away from this guy here. You know, there's all this vast of space, and there's Vasco da Gama exploring that. Whatever. There's just a lot of space. If this dude was over here, you know, holding this up, you know, then it's more of an intimate conversation. They don't need to be so far away. And if you did this, you can again get in tighter, so we can see more of what's happening. We could be closer in, you know, because we kind of don't need to see what's under the table and everything and their legs and all that business. We can be in here. And then there's those expressions, I think, are just a little too flourishy for this guy on the left. This guy's perfect. He's showing the correct amount of sarcasm. This guy is a little flourishy for what he's saying and the tone of the scene. And I would maybe straighten him up a little bit, too, because I think he's a little too, you know, this pose is a little too dramatic. I think he would, you know, settle this pose out a little bit. Maybe he's the other way. Maybe he's... Okay, I'm probably rambling right now. Anyway, okay, I'll shut up now. Basically, my main notes are tighten up the cameras and then get this guy into more of a perspective space so that we can see them. We need to get them physically closer together and interact that way. I think that's all the notes I have. Yeah, it's good though. It's very good. And I like the characters, and I like the, you know, the sarcasm seems like it would be tough to work with to get, because you're dealing with subtlety. I think that for a first pass, this is great. But again, I would just get yourself into more of a position where you can get tight, and not super tight, you know, but like just, you know, like I am now. I don't have a bunch of extraneous space around me. It's just kind of my head and a little bit of my shoulders. But it would look kind of weird if I was doing my critique like this. Zane, that's a great animation, you know, and then there's all this space over here that just doesn't need to be there, you know, so we can tighten up. But doing a critique like this is also fairly ridiculous, you know, so we just want to find that happy medium where we fill the space and we keep the audience kind of interested on where we want them to be interested. Okay, that's all I have to say now. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. It looks great so far, and I will talk to you soon. By the way, thanks again. I'm more than happy to take a look at your stuff whenever I can, and hopefully this isn't too late. But I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.